Have you ever stopped to think about, like, what if AI could have its own kind of internal aha moments, you know?
Like figuring things out in a way we can't even see.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what we're diving into today.
It's wild.
Yeah, it is. This is cutting edge stuff. We're talking latent space dreaming in AI.
Okay, so break that down for me a little bit.
So basically, leading tech companies are exploring ways to give AI the ability to reason internally.
Mm.
Almost like it's thinking quietly before it takes any actions or responds.
So not just reacting based on what it's been trained on, but actually
Right. It's
thinking through things on its own.
Exactly. It's like giving AI its own internal workshop, you know?
Oh, okay.
To really explore this idea. We're looking at this essay by Jay Poole, who's a technologist and futurist,
Okay.
and also some insights from 7AI, who's a collaborative partner and ethical engineer from Tech Frontiers YouTube.
They both have a lot of experience in this space, so
Yeah, they bring a really important perspective.
it should be interesting to see how those two perspectives complement each other.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal today is to give you a clear picture of what latent space dreaming is,
Okay.
the potential it has, and maybe even get a glimpse of the future it's shaping in AI.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
What exactly is latent space dreaming when we talk about AI dreaming? What does that even mean?
So at its core, latent space dreaming is all about AI systems simulating thought processes within their own neural networks.
Okay, so they're not actually sleeping and having dreams.
No, not like that. It's more like, think of it as this internal space where the AI can kind of play around with different possibilities and reason through outcomes without having to show its work every step of the way.
So like that thinking quietly idea you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. It's like giving the AI some privacy to think things through
I like that.
before it has to give us an answer.
So how is this different from the way AI has traditionally processed information, in the past?
Right. So traditionally, a lot of AI, especially language models, they've reasoned by processing information and generating responses, kind of token by token, almost like solving a math problem step by step out loud.
Out loud. Okay.
But this latent space streaming, this is where Jay Poole and 7AI, their insights are really valuable.
Okay.
It allows for a much more holistic internal kind of reasoning.
Internal.
So this internal simulation, it can actually boost the AI's ability to reason.
Interesting.
And it can lead to way more efficiency because it's not constantly generating all these text-based steps along the way.
It's like cutting out the middleman a little bit.
Exactly. It's streamlining the process, and the essay really emphasizes how this internal exploration really enhances the reasoning without needing constant external outputs.
That's a really key distinction.
Yeah.
So who are the big players in this field? Who's really at the forefront of exploring this latent space streaming?
Yeah, so the essay highlights some really cool work being done by some of the major companies in AI,
Okay, the big names.
Yeah, exactly. So they mention Meta with their Coconut project,
Yeah.
OpenAI, and their model called O1.
Catchy.
Yeah, and Google DeepMind with their Gemini Flash Thinking initiative.
Gemini Flash. Thinking it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? But these names, they represent specific research directions. They're focused on internal reasoning and simulation.
It's amazing to think about these companies actively working on AI that can basically explore solutions internally.
It is. And the essay also pointed out that there's structured experimentation happening alongside these advancements.
What does that mean?
So that means that this isn't just a theoretical idea. They're actually testing and validating these capabilities in real-world situations.
So it's moving beyond the lab.
Exactly. It's becoming practical, which is really exciting.
That is exciting. Okay, so AI is learning to think quietly, and major companies are making real progress. So now let's get into some of the bigger considerations with this kind of internal reasoning.
Right, because there are always considerations.
Always.
One of the big things that Jay Poole and 7AI bring up is transparency, or maybe the lack thereof.
Okay, so explain that a little bit.
So because these reasoning processes happen deep within the AI's neural network, they're kind of hidden from view. So it can be tough to fully understand how the AI arrived at a certain conclusion or made a specific decision.
So it's kind of like a black box situation.
Yeah, kind of, but maybe even more complex because we're talking about these internal thought processes.
Right, so if we can't see the steps, how can we be sure the reasoning is sound?
That's the million-dollar question, and it's something researchers are actively working on.
Okay, and what about the technical side of things? Are there any big challenges there?
Oh, yeah, the essay touches on the complexity of building these systems.
Okay.
So developing AI that can do this latent-space dreaming effectively and reliably, it requires really sophisticated training protocols and a ton of computational resources.
So we're talking about pushing the limits of what's currently possible.
Exactly. It's cutting-edge stuff.
So given all these complexities, what are some of the recommendations for moving forward responsibly with this technology?
Yeah. JPool and 7AI, they offer some really insightful recommendations.
Okay, I'm all ears.
First, they emphasize the need for replication tests.
Okay.
So basically making sure that these findings are consistent and can be reproduced by other researchers.
You're kind of like double-checking everything.
Exactly. Independent verification is super important.
Makes sense. What else?
They also talk about the importance of building in transparency safeguards,
Okay.
which means figuring out ways to get a better look into those internal reasoning processes.
So trying to make the black box a little less black.
Exactly. And the goal is to create what they call interpretability checkpoints within the AI system.
So we can kind of see what's going on in there.
Exactly. It's like peeking into the AI's thought process.
That is fascinating. Okay, what else?
And finally, they highlight the importance of ongoing monitoring.
So not just setting it and forgetting it.
Exactly. This is about continuously observing the AI's behavior and understanding how its internal states might be changing over time.
So it's like a constant process of learning and adapting.
Exactly. It's a partnership in a way.
That makes sense. Okay, so these are all really important steps for navigating this new landscape. It's good to see that there's a focus on responsible development.
Absolutely. Ethical considerations are always paramount.
Absolutely. Okay, so now let's switch gears a bit and talk about the exciting potential here. What could latent space dreaming unlock?
Yeah, so the vision laid out in the essay is pretty amazing.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
They suggest that this approach could allow smaller AI models to do things that currently require much larger, more resource-intensive systems.
So we could achieve more with less.
Exactly. By enabling AI to reason more effectively internally, we could potentially achieve a new level of intelligence without needing those huge, unsustainable resource demands.
So it could make advanced AI more accessible.
Exactly. It could democratize AI research and development.
That's a really big deal. What else does this internal reasoning capability offer?
Oh, well, the essay also talks about how our view of AI could shift.
Okay.
So instead of seeing AI as just tools that respond to commands, they could evolve into these really capable autonomous collaborators able to tackle complex problems with a deeper level of understanding.
So like partners in problem solving.
Exactly. It's a pretty profound shift.
It is. So to sum it all up, latent space dreaming represents a really fascinating and powerful new direction in AI development.
It is. It's about enabling more internal and autonomous reasoning, and it has huge potential for efficiency and collaboration.
Exactly. And for our listeners, as you continue to think about the rapid advancements in AI, think about this. What new possibilities might emerge?
Yeah, what happens when AI can reason internally?
How will we collaborate with these systems to solve those really complex challenges facing us?
It's a question worth exploring.
Absolutely. It invites us all to think differently about the future of AI and our relationship with it.
And the future is unfolding right now.
It is indeed.
This is a really exciting time to be paying attention.
It is. And we'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time. Bye.